Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Henry Ford's quote, absolutely love it. And this week we are focused on the myth of balance and why alignment matters more. Right. So I'm a Relay global leading life coach and business strategist. I absolutely love this. Been doing it for over 30 years with the coaching, and it lights me up. And I'm here to share what I've learned with you. All right. So today is all about just the myth of balance. All right. So everybody thinks it has to be 50-50, or how do I achieve balance in my life with the kids and the spouse and the job and dinner and, and everybody thinks it has to be this 50-50 split. Otherwise they're failing. And we're going to get into that. Okay. And why alignment matters more when you're in alignment with what it is that you're doing rather than trying to create balance. Okay, here we go. So everyone says to chase balance, but balance is a myth. What you really need is alignment. First talking point is why balance creates pressure. And it creates a lot of pressure. All right. And so, especially if you're a single parent, a single mom or dad, trying to do everything, trying to do it all creates not just a lot of pressure, but a lot of guilt and everything else in there. So balance suggests you can perfectly juggle everything at once. Isn't that nice? That you could just do it all and, with no stress and, you could just like I Dream a Genie, you could just fold your arms, blink, and it's done, right? But that's not the real world. That's not how it works. We can establish alignment and get done what we want to get done with grace and ease a lot faster than we expected, but it takes alignment, not balance. All right. So under the first talking point also is striving for balance often creates guilt when it doesn't happen. Guilt is so low vibe. At the bottom of the vibrational chart is shame and guilt. That's how low of a vibration it is. And at the top is love, joy, and inner peace and enlightenment, right? So, but at the bottom where guilt is, it's suffering. Your energy is constricted. Like I said last week, it's like a fist inside your chest. It's so tight, but when it's expanded, when you raise the vibration and even getting neutral, that's the tipping point. When you're neutral and then you work your way up to love, joy, and inner peace, and that becomes your new foundational vibe, the vibration that's your new norm. You'll dip down every now and then. We all do. We're human. It's part of the human experience, right? But then you'll bounce right back up again because you did the personal development work where love, joy, and peace are your natural vibration, no longer shame and guilt. So with regard to balance, try not to focus because what we focus on is what expands. Try not to focus on how you can create balance because it's a myth. It's a 50-50 split is a myth. It's just not a thing. When you can incorporate your family in with what it is that you're doing, now it's like you're sharing what it is that you're doing. But again, that's part of alignment. Balance becomes another unrealistic expectation. So, talking point number 2, alignment creates flow. So much better. Instead of trying to go upstream and you're swimming against the current and you're trying to create the balance and you feel shame and you feel guilt that it's not happening and you feel like a terrible parent or a terrible person because you're not able to create the balance in your relationship with your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your partner. That doesn't have to be a thing, right? Because the choice is upstream, trying to create that balance, or downstream with grace and ease, in flow, right? Nice and easy, where you're in alignment with what it is that you're doing. So, alignment means your choices match your values and your vision. You have that North Star, you know where you want to go, right? You have the goals like a ladder to get you to that umbrella, that vision, the audacious goal that you want for your life. You're going to think big and dream big because you can do, be, and have anything that you want. And the goals, the step ladder along the way will lead you to that vision. But when you're in alignment with that vision, as opposed to creating balance, trying to get up the ladder of goals and trying to get there, it's much harder than when you're in alignment and you're just in flow and it's with grace and ease that you're able to do this and you have the values. You know what your values are, and everybody's values are different. Some people prioritize money, some people prioritize their health, some people prioritize their spirituality, and there's no judgment. There's no right or wrong. It's just, wherever your values are It's fabulous. And I always say, as long as you follow me the golden rule, for the highest good of all concerned, that your values are not stepping on other people so that you could raise yourself up. That's not values. That's not very good character. Okay, so alignment means your choices match your values and your vision. When aligned, even long hours feel fulfilling. Have you ever found that when you're working on something, whether it's working on a car in your garage, or you're working on your business and you love it, or you're working on writing a book and you're just pouring your heart and soul into it, or you're going to work and you love what you're doing and you're helping people and you're serving people, whatever it is that you're doing, and you absolutely love it, the time goes by so fast and you want to do it more. That's why people make hobbies out of what I truly believe they should be making a second business, like a side hustle out of, like create a business out of your hobby and monetize it. Like when you can monetize your God-given gifts, you'll never work a day in your life because you absolutely love what it is that you're doing. Okay, you're in alignment. You're not trying to create balance in your life by doing it. You're in alignment with it. Flow replaces burnout because your energy is focused, not scattered. So imagine you have a certain amount of energy to utilize throughout the day, a finite amount of energy. So if you're trying to create balance and you're scattering your energy all over the place, the energy is chaotic and it's sporadic and it's just all over the place. So when you're focused and you focus that energy and you harness it and you focus it in the direction of your dreams, in the direction of that North Star of where it is that you want to go, you know where you are, you know where you want to be, right? And that ladder of goals is what's going to get you there to that vision. When you are focused, laser focused with all of that energy, and you're not distracted by these things, the phone or the scrolling, and all these other things. Now, listen, you can use that phone for amazing things like research. And, you can go to YouTube and you can look things up so that you can grow yourself. You can to listen to podcasts so that you can grow yourself personally and professionally. And that's a great use of time. But if you're just scrolling like the nonsensical, like you're not intentional about what it is that you want to do, you're going to lose a lot of time. And by doing so, you lose a lot of your energy. It's just wasted. It's not focused. But when you can stop, get really intentional about what it is that you want to do today, you harness that energy and like a laser, you're focusing it in the direction of that North Star, in the direction of your dreams, you will become unstoppable. I promise you, unstoppable. It's amazing. Okay. Talking point number 3, how to move from balance to alignment. Identify your top 3 values and align daily actions with them. So what are your 3 top values? Just write them down. And then once you put pen to paper, there's a whole psychology with pen to paper, because you're using more than just writing with your typing with your fingers, there's the vision, kinesiology, and especially if you're using script. My top 3 values are purpose. I feel amazing when I feel like I'm living my purpose, like doing these videos. If it helps one of you out of the billions of people on the planet, just if it helps one person, and I get so many emails, that it just makes my heart feel so good. It's so good when people reach out and they say, this one thing that you said, it flipped the switch for me in a really good way, or you just changed my life in 15 minutes, or what, like in the 5 minutes, like I figured this out. Love, huge in my value, like not coming from a place of fear, but coming from a place of love regarding connection, communication, like it's one of my top values, and I work very hard at trying to maintain love when it comes to all of that. And freedom, right? Inner and outer freedom, freedom for my inner world, where the inner peace, the alignment, when I'm fully aligned, fully authentically me, standing in my authentic power, right? That's freedom on the inside, my inner world. And listen, I love nice things. Don't get me wrong. I love nice things. So if you want to have nice things and money is high on your value thing or whatever it is, that's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. And money, they say money's the root of all evil, and it's not. Greed is the root of all evil. When you put money ahead of people, and you rip people off or you're cutting corners or you're under delivering and you know it, that's greed and that's the root of all evil. The way you treat money is the way money's going to treat you. Identify your top 3 values and align daily actions with them. Actions are huge. Okay. Action is so important in the movie The Secret. One of the regrets, because I'm friendly with a lot of people from the movie The Secret, one of their regrets is they did not talk about action enough. Okay. Release the need to do it all and instead do what matters most. Prioritize. All right. So write down 10 things that you want to accomplish today or tomorrow. Write it down and then prioritize them because you only have a certain amount of energy to utilize throughout the day. And then once you prioritize, then the top 3, 4, 5 things, that's what you utilize your energy for getting those done. And then the others you get done with the energy that you have left, or you move it over to the next day, write them down, prioritize them, and do the same thing for the next day. Okay. And check in, ask, is this aligned with the life I want to create? So when you're doing something, ask yourself, is this in alignment with what my North Star is? With what that audacious goal that I'm looking to accomplish? Is this next move I'm about to make? Is that in alignment with what I want to do? Because again, it's all about alignment, not balance. Not like trying the 50-50 thing and energy's getting utilized all over the place and scattered, not focused. And so you want to ask yourself, is this in alignment? This next step that I'm about to take, is that in alignment with my goals, with my vision, with that North Star? Okay, so I've read to you about what my values are, and I want you to write down what your values are and the actions you're going to take that are in alignment with those values. Okay. And okay, so I have a client and she's just amazing. And she's a single mom. She has one child and she was trying to learn the whole balance thing. Like she's going to work. And then her son had all these extracurricular activities and sports and everything else. And she felt terrible because she had to be at work and she couldn't make it to everything. And then he would feel bad and he would make her feel guilty for not being there. And you can't blame him. He's just a kid. Right. And so the other parents were there and she felt terrible. So we had this conversation with there's only a certain amount of energy that you have throughout the day. Long story short, we were able to get her schedule to a point where she realized that there was time that she was wasting at work that she could get done earlier. And she had a conversation with her boss who actually let her leave early as long as she accomplished what she needed to accomplish with the energy she had and get these tasks done. Then the twice a week she needed to be where she wanted to be at the games and the practices and everything else, she was able to go. So again, it's communication, it's connection. You want to be able to make sure that you keep the open lines of communication with those around you to help you create that alignment. Okay. And she's doing amazing now. Her whole life opened up. And she then realized that she's resourceful as well. Because when you're in alignment with who you are, opportunities show themselves, like all of a sudden doors start to open that never were open before because you weren't open to them, to the opportunity. And life can become absolutely amazing when you're in alignment with who you are and what you want to accomplish. All right. So that's this episode for this week. I look forward to seeing you next week. And if you like this, please hit subscribe and you'll just naturally get the videos. And if you'd like to go deeper into this, I do have the Life on Track course at thelifeontrackcourse.com. You can check it out there. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Email me any questions that you have, any takeaways that you have. I love hearing from you. I read all of my emails. So have a great week and always remember to live onward and upward.